Okay.
Deputy Chairman, sir,
Yeah,
firstly,
please.
I'd like to extend my heartfelt gratitude to all the honourable members who have expressed their concerns on various issues which are brought to the notice of the honourable members and to the government at large with regards to condition of our professional courses institutions. I would also like to express my gratitude to the Minister of State, Shri Ram Shankar Katheria, for suitably answering all the concerns that have been highlighted. However, certain members yet want certain clarifications on issues. Firstly, the issue with regards to exorbitant fees being charged by institutions which are technical in nature and management institutions. I would like to say that the regulatory power for technical and management institutions, sir, rests with the All India Council of Technical Education. And under the Act, there is a provision already existent which penalizes and has a definite action to be taken against those institutions that charge higher fees than permitted. I would also like to bring to the attention of the honourable members that the Justice Sri Krishna, under the chairmanship of Justice Sri Krishna, the National Fee Committee that was constituted, the committee's recommendations have already been approved by AICTE. Additionally, if students face challenges with regards to these guidelines being in any way breached by institution, AICTE has a very, very responsive grievance redressal mechanism through which students who highlight these anomalies and challenges through these mechanisms, AICTE addresses their concern. Similarly, a same template is used even by the UGC, where if a student feels that those elements with regards to the institution that are highlighted in the prospectus are not elements that the student finds within the institution once they seek admission, then UGC also through its portal addresses those grievances of students. I would like to here, sir, highlight that to initiate a collective response from both the regulators, the UGC and AICTE started engagement called Know Your College. And under the Know Your College platform, which is also a mobile app, what we have done is give details of every academic institution that is registered with the regulators, be it AICTE or UGC, and ensure that even details of the academicians and professionals engaged by those institutions are details which are in the public domain. Additionally, what we have done is that if any institution is lying or misleading the public with regards to the information that they have registered with the regulator, then the concerned citizen or student or parent can bring it to the notice of the regulator and the regulator takes appropriate action. I would like to here also state, sir, that our learned colleague who has moved this particular private member's bill is extremely concerned about the exorbitant fees and exorbitant monies which students have to dole out to seek education. Unfortunately, many in this house and across the nation will accept that education has become more or less a pursuit of certification and less about pursuit of excellence. And it is our endeavour that education once again under the leadership of the Honourable Prime Minister becomes a pursuit of excellence, because our nation, our civilization as a whole was claimed and acclaimed and applauded as Jagat Guru because of the kind of intellectuals, the kind of thinkers we had in our country. And that is only possible, sir, if we give enough impetus not only to science and technology, but also social sciences, pure sciences. I would like to say here, sir, that with regards to the honourable member's concern that how can education be stopped from becoming too exorbitant, especially for students who are from disadvantaged communities, I must here declare to the august house that in the ministry we are in the process of starting a massive open online course platform, MOOCs platform called Swayam. The features of Swayam will be this. We recognize that there is a huge number of dropouts after the 8th standard, and not many then gravitate from the 8th standard to 10th, 12th, or for that matter opt for higher education. To recognize this particular challenge, we also additionally applied ourselves to a solution through the MOOCs platform, which currently we have a certain close to 500 courses. We have also in an engagement with the National Open School NIOS ascertained that courses for Standard 10, Standard 12 certification courses will also be available on this MOOCs platform, which will also be a mobile app looking at the penetration of mobiles, which is higher in our country as compared to computers. And we will ensure that all the courses that run on this particular platform, as engaged by the Government of India and as designed by the Government of India, courses, be it diploma courses, certificate courses, 10 standard, 12 standard courses, they will be available to every Indian citizen free of cost, sir. And we are hoping that through everybody's engagement and support, we can popularize it once it comes into the public domain. Currently, what the ministry is working at is not only designing the course through institutions like the central universities, IITs, IIMs, NITs, and even some from the private sector who want to contribute to growth of education in the country. What we are also doing, sir, is that in conjunction with the UGC AICTE, we are ensuring that courses on this platform get adequate credit. I'm sure my learned colleague knows that many a times the challenge is that when you do an online course and you don't have a complementary credit, it doesn't give you movement all across the country. UGC and AICTE is currently in the process, sir, of designating credits for each course, so that once any citizen who avails of this free opportunity and has to give a minimalistic fee to sit and give the exam and get the certification, that citizen gets ample credit, thereby giving them educational movement across the country. Which means a citizen who engages on this platform, sir, will then have, because of a certificate diploma course done on this platform, get entrance into a physical college and university which is registered with the regulator. But the concern that many colleagues have expressed is also this. What about fly-by-night operators? What about those who fall outside the ambit of the regulator? So I would like to here highlight that the UGC last year actually identified 21 fake universities in this country. And we subsequently put up a public notice warning citizens that these institutions are operating, they are not registered with the regulator, they are fleecing citizens. And we also wrote to the concerned chief secretaries and education secretaries in the state, stating that law and order is within the ambit of the state. These are the fake universities in your state. Kindly take penal action so that no citizen is in any way inconvenienced. Similarly, if AICTE, which is in the technical field, gets a similar complaint, AICTE also takes appropriate penal action against those individuals and institutions. I would like to say that many citizens, many members here have expressed their concerns that what are we doing about having a world-class university in India. I would like to give a longer context to this particular answer, sir. Firstly, the international agencies that rank institutions across the world, what are the parameters under which they rank institutions? One of the parameters is how many foreign students does that institution cater to? How many foreign faculty members does that institution employ? Whether the research done is a research done in English, that is given prominence. And only journals which are identified by these ranking agencies are deemed fit for citations or publications. Thereby, from the Indian context, sir, the challenge that rises is this. Firstly, most of the Indian educational institutions are not catering to foreign students. They are in fact inclusively catering to only the Indian population. Hence, on that benchmark, many of our institutions do not meet the mark, because most of our institutions even the inclusive nature of our institutions is not recognized internationally. Secondly, many of our academicians do research not in English but in regional Indian languages, and those research in Indian languages is also not recognized internationally. Even institutions like the Classical Institution for Classical Tamil, that is not recognized internationally because for them there is no research output in a journal of their liking. But for us, that institution is of national importance. Hence, my request is that to ensure that we support adequately through infrastructure, administratively through policy, 10 public institutions and 10 private institutions, as has been declared in the budget, will be supported so that institutions themselves set the benchmark in academics and infrastructure, including lab facilities. As to how that benchmark, once met, means that that institution now is of international quality. But my appeal is this, that there are many institutions in our country which are doing breakthrough work in research and technology and social sciences. Let us encourage them indigenously, as we are trying to do amongst ourselves in the national ranking framework. I am happy to report to this august house, sir, that once we opened up the national ranking framework, this ranking framework was designed by the National Board of Accreditation in conjunction with AICTE and NAC, the accreditation body in our country, under the regulator UGC. We opened up and we gave various parameters, including the research output of the institution, including the inclusive nature of the institution, and also added how students, parents, academicians and citizens perceive that institution to be. And we said that for the first time in the history of our country, let us rank our institutions that in some way service our aspirations as a country. I am happy to report, sir, that the largest ever exercise in the world in the Indian ranking framework was done. The agency that does the data analytics of international ranking agencies is the one is the one that is also assisting us. I will say that over 5,000 institutions have added themselves to this ranking framework. 3,600 institutions, their data is getting analyzed. So while we have on one hand a policy intervention through the budget so that institutions get internationalized, we also have under Gyan foreign faculty at the cost of Government of India coming and teaching in government colleges at no charge to any student, including students from disadvantaged communities. Even in institutions like IIT, sir, under this government, my colleague has many a times raised issues with regards to those citizens who are differently abled. We have completely waived off fees for students who are differently abled in IITs for the first time in the history of our country. So I am only appealing to the honourable member that there are many effective measures that we are taking, including prescribing guidelines for charging tuition fees for professional courses, as has been ordained by Justice Sri Krishna, and AICTE has approved it. We have sent it to all the states so that the states which are empowered to take penal action, because law and order is their jurisdiction, can take penal action. Thank you.
For example, we celebrated Women's Day. The Supreme Court had said allowed dance bars in Mumbai. And the Supreme Court also said that people who patronize dance bars, their right to privacy will be protected. It is amazing. People who patronize dance bars, their privacy is protected. But what about this? What about the Indians? What about people who are outside?